Hello and welcome to the Daily Draft, where we take Magic one draft at a time. My name is Morgan, and this is another Battle for Zendikar draft. We are so close to getting Oath of the Gatewatch online, but until then, I actually do enjoy Battle for Zendikar quite a bit, and after having drafted Oath, it's actually a very different format, so that's pretty exciting. And I thought I'd get in some more triple Battle for Zendikar while I, have the motivation to. So we'll wait for a couple more people to join the queue, and I'll see you then. Okay, that took forever, but we're back. We're here with our first pick. The rare is Angelic Captain, which is a 4/3 flyer for 5, and it's 2 colors, which is respectable. And whenever it attacks, it gets +1/+1 for each until end of turn for each other attacking ally. There are, however, better cards in the pack. For example, Tide Drifter, which I like quite a bit. Kozilek's Channeler, also very solid. Courier Griffin, which is fair enough. Outnumber is removal, which is great. I think first picking the Angelic Captain is a little aggressive, but it could be very good. Valakut Predator is actually a pretty sweet card in the landfall decks. It's very, very good, and it's very aggressive, but we'll save that until when Oath of the Gatewatch comes out. Until then, we're just going to take this Kozilek's Channeler. It's nice and open, and it's a fairly strong pick. Here, I'm pretty easily taking From Beyond. From Beyond is one of the better cards to have in green. It's one of the best cards to have in green, I'd say. And it is... Oh, that was my mic. It is especially strong in this format where you can just have it on turn 4 and have a chump blocker every turn until the point where you get up to enough mana to just go crazy with Eldrazi. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take that over Sheer Drop, Myers Malice, Core Entanglers, and Kozilek Sentinel, or other cards that I'd consider taking from the pack. Here, it's a pretty easy pick for Touch of the Void, I think. Core Castigator is fine. There's another Kozilek's Channeler, which is fine, but Touch of the Void is removal, and I tend to pick removal pretty highly, even if I'm not officially in those colors yet. Breaker of Armies is an awesome thing to pair with From Beyond. There's also Eyeless Watcher and I guess Oran Reef Invoker in the pack, but Breaker of Armies is sweet, and we're going to go ahead and take it. Titan's Presence is an awesome pickup when the game plan is currently Breaker of Armies. Titan's Presence is a way to deal with creatures in the early game before you just slam them in the late game, and it's removal again, which is great. Here, I'm going to go ahead and take Catacomb Sifter. It doesn't go well with Touch of the Void, but it goes well with From Beyond, and it's definitely the best card in the pack, so we're going to go ahead and take it. Guess it's just Stone Fury here. I'm not really happy with Territorial Bailout or Mindraker, and Volt Nursery is fine, but not fantastic. Whereas Stone Fury is a removal spell, and I'm really happy with it. Between Eyeless Watcher and Kozilek Sentinel, I'd much rather have the Eyeless Watcher. It is on color, guaranteed, and it produces a lot of tokens to ramp into things like Breaker of Armies, so I'm fairly happy with it. Here, I'm going to take the Plated Crusher over the Oran Reef Invoker. I don't think 2-drops are nearly as important in this format as they are in Oath of the Gatewatch. And Plated Crusher is something to ramp into that can't just be Clutch of Currents, which is pretty great. Here, I'm going to go ahead and take Valakut Invoker over Plummet. Valakut Invoker is very strong, and in my red decks, I usually want at least one. Pathway Arrows is pretty good against my deck. Ooh, we wheeled the second Eyeless Watcher. I'll take it. We might just be red-green ramp. It's basically standard. Go ahead and take Boiling Earth, really good against opposing ramp strategies, and us. Natural Connection might actually make the cut here, especially if we feel like playing this Catacomb Sifter. Also, things like Stone Fury and what else? Valakut Invoker really encourage us to play more lands. A lot of good stuff in this pack. There's Grove Rumbler, Outnumber, which is particularly good with Eyeless Watcher, Touch of the Void, which is great, Kozilek's Channeler, which is great, but we're going to go ahead and take the Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder is a very strong finisher, especially when we're, playing the ramp deck. It gives us a little bit of versatility. Oh, Sanctum of Ugin, I love this card, but I don't think... Sanctum of Ugin has a very high likelihood of wheeling, and Brood Monitor is just kind of nutty in this deck. So we're going to go ahead and take the Brood Monitor and cross our fingers that Sanctum of Ugin wheels. I guess I take Snapping Gnarlid here. It's not ideal. Like, I could see taking Demon's Grasp and kind of hedging on our red bets, but we've got Rolling Thunder, Stone Fury, and Touch of the Void, so I'm not as worried about it. I think Snapping Gnarlid's fine. In this deck, it's probably not at its best, but it's certainly not the worst it could be. I will happily take another Stone Fury here over like Swarm Surge and Boiling Earth. We're passing 2 Horribly Rise and a Benthic Infiltrator, so the blue players in the pool are in the draft are going to be pretty happy. I'm actually super happy with Kozilek Sentinel over Void Attendant, Fertile Thicket, and another Snapping Gnarlid. I think Kozilek Sentinel is a bit stronger in this deck. I could take Dominator Drone. Don't really want to. I could take Blighted Fen too, I could see that. Or I could just take Earth Arms. Yeah, let's take Earth Arms. Nah, we'll take Blighted Fen. We might not end up playing the Blighted Fen, but we already do have a bit of a black splash, so we'll see. Go ahead and take a Plummet. There's another Encircling Fissure. Good to know. Something to watch out for, because we have this giant breaker of armies we don't want just blown out by an Encircling Fissure. I don't think a Natural Aggression is actually making the cut in this deck. I guess I'll take the Territorial Baloth. I could also hate draft a Cloud Manta or something. I'll take a Natural Aggression. I'm not sure if it's actually, again, I'm not sure if it's making the cut. Here, I have a choice between Grove Rumbler and Outnumber, and I think I actually want the Outnumber. It's another piece of removal, and Grove Rumbler is pretty great in this deck, but I don't think it is actually super necessary when we're just playing Eyeless Watchers into Breaker of Armies. Did we not wheel the stupid Sanctum of Ugin? Now I'm disappointed. I'm going to take the Seek of the Wilds. Add another Plummet to the sideboard. I am very disappointed. I like Sanctum of Ugin. Crumble to Dust? To use against the guy who took the Sanctum of Ugin, obviously. Fertile Thicket is actually pretty sweet in this deck. This deck wants to hit a lot of its land drops, and Fertile Thicket will help us do that. For sure. Also makes sketchy hands a little bit easier to keep. Ugin's Insight, not the best pickup for this deck. We've got a Tunneling Geopede and a Kozilek Sentinel, as well as a Kozilek's Channeler that we could play. I think we just want the Kozilek's Channeler. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take the Kozilek's Channeler. This level of ramp is pretty good. I want this Nettle Drone, but I know this Oran Reef Hydra is probably pretty good in our deck. It's just another big fat guy, which, to be honest, is probably what this deck wants. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take it. Ooh, Touch of the Void. That's a nice pickup. Happy with another Touch of the Void for sure. Touch of the Void also gives us stuff to have exiled for a rune processor if we manage to pick one up, which I'm not sure is going to happen, actually, which is kind of disappointing. No rune processor yet. We do have another outnumber or scour from existence. And I think at this point we want to take a scour from existence and maybe play it in the sideboard. I'm not sure, but I think that's the best card for us. There's another Stone Fury in this pack. I think it's a little bit much to play all of the Stone Furies that we have, but it's definitely worth taking. Here, I'm going to pick up a Grove Rumbler over another Stone Fury. There's also the option of taking like Jaddy Offshoot or Reef Invoker as well, but Grove Rumbler, pretty sweet. Right now, Catacomb Sifter is being relegated to the sideboard. Here, I could take Blighted Woodland, or I could take another Kozilek Sentinel. Those are both options that I have access to. I think I actually want the Blighted Woodlands. It doesn't hurt my mana base that much, and it's pretty useful when it comes to things like Aura Reef Hydra and Grove Rumbler. Alright, we wield the Tunneling Geopede and we wield the Kozilek Sentinel. I think we just take Kozilek Sentinel. I'd be very happy just to wall up behind my Kozilek Sentinels, and man, what this deck really needed was a Vile Aggregate. Alright, now I take a Tunneling Geopede, I guess? Sure. Valak Invoker is a card that I'm much happier to have than Tunneling Geopede. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Probably don't want a Snapping Gnarlid that badly. I will take another Outnumber. Wow, just Outnumbers for days. Probably don't need two of those cards. Don't really feel the need to main deck Scour from Existence anymore. Outnumber is super situational, but it's also pretty good in this deck, actually. We've got 2 drops, a 3 drop. Do you really want a Grove Rumbler? Is that really on the plan? We have another Stone Fury in our sideboard. Jesus. Guess we can cut the Grove Rumbler and play like another Valak Invoker, maybe? We still have one more cut. Oh my goodness. This deck is a little disgusting. Maybe just Natural Connection. We don't really need a Natural Connection, do we? Nah, not particularly. This deck's sweet. We're gonna cut the Blighted Fen too. Don't need it. Just double Valak Invoker casually. Titan's Presence is a little bit sketchy, but we do have quite a few things, so we'll count on those. 8 and 8 seems reasonable. We're gonna submit the deck. Alright, deck suite. We only have like 2 things to get with the From Beyond, right? No, we've got plenty of things to get with the From Beyond, but mostly it's just gonna be stalling until we kill our opponents with one of our big guys. I'll see you in round 1.